closing remarks. The closing remarks is by one of the sort of growing, leading stars in the London tech scene, has started and built up PayasUgym to a significant business and with good prospects. So, Jamie, the scene is yours.
Thanks, Sharton. I'll kick off with millennials, where we started. Well, millennials, half of you will be sick about hearing about them, as we saw from some of the comments earlier on. The other half are probably delighted that you fall into this generation. It is a customer segment that's been analysed over and over again, and as the next big spending power, of course, it's important we really understand this generation. It's particularly fascinating to me in the health and fitness world. Millennial attitudes have been developed, have been driven by the economic landscape, and more so, I think, technology that exists today. Now, working in the health and fitness industry has taught me that understanding the psychology of customers is probably one of the most important things, especially when growing a business. From 1,000 feet, things look pretty good for the sector. The market is growing. Attitudes towards health and fitness are continually improving, especially within the millennials generation. And I've seen these attitudes in action. Our office is full of millennials. I think I'm actually the oldest guy there. And for my team, Friday nights after work is about heading to the gym or a fitness class with mates and then going to the organic whole food restaurant for something to eat. Now, this is a stark change from my pre-kids understanding of Friday night, which was head straight to the pub, drink a lot on an empty stomach, get drunk far too quickly, grab a takeaway and head home. Of course, I'm not immune to change, and now on Friday night I only drink organic beer. It's too easy and potentially dangerous to sit back and be content that a generation with better attitudes to health and fitness will continue to drive growth in this sector. So I'd like to explore this a little bit further. Our experience at PayasUgym shows that there's a dramatic shift in how people are looking for health and fitness and purchasing it, not just millennials. And this shift is online, it's obvious, but it's also mobile. As an online marketplace, we're ideally placed to benefit from this, and we still see massive growth each year simply from channel shifts. We'll continue to enjoy that, but to grow participation through innovation, we need to look beyond simply channel shifts. So is the conclusion that access to the internet, penetration smartphones has made a generation more health conscious? I don't think that's the whole story. Giving someone a smartphone and having constant access to the internet does not make someone more health conscious. The access or the tool themselves are not growing an industry fully, and if we rely on that, then the current growth we're enjoying will stagnate. So what are the underlying reasons for the growth, and how can we ensure that it continues? There are many reasons. I don't have all the answers, but anyone with product strategy experience will know that to create an action, there must be a trigger. There is no other industry that requires a trigger as much as health and fitness. Looking in the mirror is a great example of a trigger that has driven tens of thousands of people into the gym or to be more health conscious. Unfortunately, mirrors don't send us information, and as per the ethical comment earlier on, I don't think they ever should. In today's market, and more so for millennials, these triggers are more frequent and driven by technology. The health trackers, the availability of information online, the social platforms, the triggers are countless and relentless. My wife likes to show me that her daily step count is about 3 times higher than mine, and there's nothing like marital competitive to drive me into action. Neil and I did Neil, my co-founder, and I did a Thrive health kit, and we pricked and got our blood samples and found out both our cholesterol was slightly too high. So now there is an unspoken and now spoken challenge between us that in 6 months' time, who will have the lowest cholesterol? I'm a pretty competitive guy. So better tech, more triggers, more business. We can all relax then. I'm not 100% sure about that. Why not? Because we can get much better at identifying those triggers, acting on it quickly, and delivering a solution or a product tailored to the customer's needs. And that bit is going to be critical in the future. As we all know in health and fitness, if a trigger is not fulfilled, the motivation and therefore the opportunity can be quickly lost. We're not selling sofas here, where decision time's in weeks or months, and without it, you have nowhere to sit. We're selling a concept, sometimes a dream, sometimes an ambition, that someone has to be in the right frame of mind to purchase and stick with. And that's why we need to get better at identifying and fulfilling when the mindset of the customer is right. The triggers are there, but I believe the vast majority are being lost. Instead, we too often wait until the trigger turns into an action such as a Google search. Then we compete fiercely to convert that search into a paying customer. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with competing for customers on Google. Expensive, yes, but nothing wrong with it. To grow participation in this sector, we need to identify and fulfill on these triggers earlier. At PayasUgym, we're trying to focus on the trigger that prompted the search in the first place. And this is where the big data discussion comes in and data collaboration, moving away from a siloed approach, which is so eloquently put earlier on. I would encourage every business here with a service or a product to draw out a trigger map. Identify the triggers that could lead to a purchase of your product or service. Then identify if that data is available. If it's not available, can you create that data? And then work out how your business would fulfill the need of that individual customer. I bet in this room alone, there's a massive amount of information or data that, if harnessed, offers huge opportunity. I look at the Thriver blood test kit, Babylon Health, who have doctors actively advising customers to do more exercise. We can fulfill on that. PureGym can fulfill on that. Virgin can fulfill on that. So my closing thoughts are e-wellness is wellness enabled by technology. It's a growth sector, but the beauty of this sector is not simply the technology, but the real-time and abundance of information being created. Yes, we're too often guilty of fighting it out at the end of the decision tree, and there's a long way to go in the sophistication of our approach. However, that data is exciting and powerful. If we can intervene earlier and critically with tailored solutions to the individual's needs, then we can grow participation in this industry. Thanks for your time, and I'd like to also thank Bloomberg and Concentric for giving me the opportunity to speak. Thanks, guys.